Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 12th of September 2019, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But of course, before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, guys, also, I hope you're hearing me today better. So I hope this video is running a little bit better at least, especially with the sound. So I'm still working on a quality a little bit here, but hopefully that's not gonna disturb or distract us from the pairs, from looking at the pairs here. So basically, before we also jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our GFD YouTube channel here, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, but specifically our JFD research page, which you can always check out for analysis that we do on a daily basis. And I believe you can find a lot of useful stuff here, guys. So feel free to check us out. And yep, we'll always be happy to see you here. Right now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the DXY, so the dollar index. The dollar index, this is what I was talking about this week, basically, and when I was covering DXY, and it was trading here. It was trading around the 98 and 30, just basically below the 98.50 zone. So it kept on trading below it. And yesterday, it managed to break it to the upside here and managed to break this 98.50 zone and is now kind of traveling, or at least it seems that it could be traveling higher here. So in a way, of course, at this point in time, looking at this picture technically, yes, we are going to be considering a possible move higher here towards the 98.93 zone. And this level here acted as a very good area of resistance back on the 98, back here on the around the 1st of August. So initially we're going to aim for that level. If it breaks, then yep, this could be opening the path towards slightly higher levels. We do have this 99.37 zone, which also could play out nicely as a nice potential area of resistance. But of course, let's keep it short and simple for now. Guys, let's see, like I said, let's see how this is going to play out. And for now, we are going to be targeting this 98.93 zone, and then we'll take it from there, see what he wants to do. In terms of the downside here, as you can see, we are still trading within this upward support, above this upward support line. So in a way, if we see a slide back down here, and let's say if the price drops below the 98.30 area, somewhere around here, then we could consider a possible move lower. The only thing is that this move lower would be still considered as a part of the larger correction to the downside, because like I said, we are still within this uptrend here, and any move lower could be seen as a potential correction before another leg of buying, of course. But of course, for now, that's let's not go too much further. For now, let's keep an eye on some of these levels. So as I said, for now, the target for us is the 98.93 level, given that yesterday it broke above the 98.50 zone, so this resistance zone. So it could have opened the path for itself towards higher levels. In terms of the downside here, what you could do here is wait for a drop below the 98.20 before examining a further move lower here, because because a drop below the 98.20 would place the pair below the, or should I say, I wouldn't say the pair, the index below the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and this could be seen as a slight negative here, and we could see this one drifting to the downside. So keep your eyes on this one. AUDCAD, quite an interesting pair. Yesterday I talked about this pair as well. So it broke one of our key resistance levels here near the 0.9051. So the pair now seems to be willing to travel further north. I mean, it already this morning tested its R1, which was around the 0.9074, and kind of retraced a little bit lower. If this makes another push above the R1 here, because it already, like I said, it did have this little small overshoot here, but was quick to be pushed back down here. But if we see another push above the R1, then the next target for us is around this 0.9097, 98 zone. In a way, you can round it up towards the 91 area, just the nice, beautiful 0.91 zone, which also is around the today's R2. And basically, that's a very good level here to watch. And like I said, for now, yes, it is kind of it is willing to push further north here. Let's see if it can do that. Like I said, for now, but we'll wait for that nice good break above the R1, just because we already kind of had the break here, the break above the 0.9051. So this, yes, it opened the path towards higher levels, but for now, at this point in time, in order to consider a further move higher, a push above the the R1 here near the 0.9074-75 zone. This could do the trick here for the buyers, and we could target the 0.91 area near the R2. In terms of the downside, pretty much straightforward here. To be honest, we'll be very cautious. We'll be very careful. We need to see a drop not only below this upside line here, this tentative upside line taken from the low of the 30th of August, but also a drop below the 0.8997 zone, or in a way you could round it up towards the psychological 0.90 level. So a drop below the 0.90 could, in a way, open the path here towards lower areas again. So keep your eyes on this one. Another quite interesting pair, NZDCHF. So this is right now balancing near its key area of resistance. So, and let me just quickly put this one on the chart here. So this is what I'm talking about. So it's near the 0.6396 level. So in a way, if you want, you could also round it up towards the 0.40. So this is what the pair already reached this morning. So basically, we need to see another good push above the 0.64 zone in order to kind of consider, let's say, a further move higher, because this way on this break, the pair would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and we could see this one drifting further north. Again, don't forget that we are still trading above this kind of tentative upside line. So in a way, even if we see a reversal back down here, and if we see, let's say, a drop below this little area right here, below the 0.6360 area, approximately around there, this could, of course, lead the pair a little bit lower. But if it starts falling below the 200 EMA here, and below this little level here, and let me just quickly put this one on the chart. Now this is where the level here is around the 0.6344-45 area. Basically, a nice good drop below this would place the rate below the 200 EMA, and we could see this one drifting a little bit lower. The only thing is, like I said, this move lower could be seen as a temporary correction before another leg of buying here, because we are still above this upside support line. So as long as it remains intact, we will consider another move higher here. But even though, like I said, even though we see a slide below the 0.6345 zone, so keep your eyes on this one. Let's see how this is going to play out. And if we see a push above the 0.64 zone here, then the next target for us will be around, and where, let me just quickly find that level here. Where was that area? It was around here, I believe. So that was the initial target for us, around here near the 0.6423 zone, 25, something like that. But slightly above that, we do have this little drop here that we had on the 26th of June. So the 0.6435. So good, also a good short-term target here for this pair. If it continues to travel higher, then of course, what you could do is aim for this little high here on of the 25th of June, and that's around the 0.6495 zone. So initially, we'll target these two. We'll see how it performs around there, and because let's not exclude a possibility of seeing maybe a correction back down at some point here. But for now, like I said, yep, it is looking quite interesting, especially if it pushes above the 0.64 zone. GBP Aussie. Now, this is quite a nice pair as well to look at. Of course, for now, you can see this little slide here recently. So from the kind of from let's say from Tuesday, it's kind of sliding lower here. The only thing is that don't forget we are still trading above this tentative upside line here, which is let me just quickly adjust this, which is taken from around the 30th of July. So as long as this line kind of remains intact, we will consider a possible move higher here again at some point. But the only thing is, again, this is the problem with the upside, because at the same time we are trading below another tentative downside resistance line here. So in a way, what I can say here is that we are coiling up. So in other words, for those who are more on the cautious side, what you could do is just keep this pair for now. Just watch what it's going to do, and it might shift here. It might move sideways a little bit, kind of continue coiling up. And basically, what you could do here is wait for a clear break above this downside resistance line and a push above the 1.8064 zone before kind of examining higher levels again. And in terms of the downside here, a drop below this level here, below the low of the 9th of September, which is around the 1.7842 zone. This is what could do the trick here for the bears, and we could see this one sliding further down. So for now, guys, like I said, keep your eyes on some of these levels, and wait for a clear breakthrough one of these one of these lines, the downside and the upside line. So and only then we will consider a possible further directional move here. So let me just quickly draw some arrows. So if we see a drop below, let's say 1.7842, of course the next target for us is around here, near the 1.7790, but in a way slightly better area of support is seen around here near the 1.7707 zone. So keep your eyes on this one. And in terms of the upside here, our target will be if we see a push above the 1.8064, the next target for us is going to be around the 1.8233. So keep your eyes on this one. EURCAD, quite important for today. In general, anything with deal with in regards to the euro, as you probably are aware, and you looked at the economic calendar, we do have the ECB interest rate decision today. So in a way, we could see this one having some volatility, having some increased volatility today. So that's why, guys, for keep your eyes on some of these pairs, some of these euro pairs. So looking at this one, for example, in particular, the EURCAD, and you can see that yesterday it did sell off a little bit, but it was very quick to recover some of its losses, and kind of it did this nice U-turn and pushed back to the upside here. So for now, we're going to be probably what we're going to do here is, of course, we're going to draw this little tentative downside line here. The only thing is that it's this little move higher here. It was kind of a bit of a spike, so we're going to take something more stable, which is around here. So this is going to be our little tentative downside line, and in a way, what you could do here is wait for a break above this, and if we see a push, a nice good push above the above this downside line, and also above the this little area of resistance right here, let me just quickly put this on the chart, around the 1.4557, something like that, then yep, we could consider a possible move higher here, a further move north, and we could aim for some of these good possible areas of resistance. So one of which could be around the 1.4638 zone, and the other one could be seen near the 1.4692 area. So of course, in between here, in between these two levels, we do have the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, which also could, in a way, provide a bit of resistance. But again, before we could aim for higher levels, we need to see a nice good push above this downside resistance line and a push above the 1.4557 zone. In terms of the downside here, well, I probably will take a very careful and cautious approach here and wait for a drop below the 1.4453-55 zone here, and only then consider a further move lower. And for this one, probably I need to jump into a daily chart just to find the possible area of support here, because as you can see, we need to drag this one back into the area of 2017. So, and by the way, as you can see, yesterday this pair managed to test this key area of support here, which kind of held the pair from moving lower in July 2017 and in September as well. So these two this level here acted as a fantastic area of support. So if this one gets broken again, then well, this could be opening the path towards levels like this, which is the inside swing high here of the April, if I'm not mistaken, 6th of April. So this could be around the 1.4357 zone, or it could continue drifting further down. So for now, guys, keep your eyes on some of these levels. Like I said, in terms of the downside, we will only consider lower areas if we see a drop below the yesterday's lows here near the 1.4454 zone. So, and after that, but in terms of the upside here, we will kind of consider the upside only if we see a push above the downside line here, a push above the 1.4557 area. So keep your eyes on this one. And the last pair for this session is going to be the EURJPY. So also quite interesting because as you can see, it is trying to climb higher, but it is failing here, failing near the 119.17 zone. So of course, the picture right now from the short-term picture, yes, it is trying to make or should I say it is already making these higher lows, but like I said, this is the barrier where it got stuck at right now, so near the 119.17. So we need to see a nice good push above this before we could examine further higher levels, and we'll aim initially for the 119.50 58, 59 zone, but if that fails to withhold, the 120, the psychological 120 area could be a nice target for EURJPY. In terms of the downside from the very short-term perspective, of course, what you could look at here is this level right here near the 118.30. So if we see a drop below this, in a way, this could initially open the path towards lower areas. Now, what we will target here is not this level right here, that was an old one, but this little area right here near the 117.69 zone. So a nice good drop below this could also open the path towards much lower areas, but again, for now, before we could consider a move lower, we need to see a drop below the 118.31 zone, and then we'll aim for lower areas. So guys, like I said, be very careful today with the euro. Be very careful with that. Like I said, we do have the ECB interest rate decision today. So I hope you found my video useful for you. So if you want to join me later on at my traders tea time, as always, that's 13:15 GMT. So, but I hope, like I said, I hope you have a fantastic trading day today. Be very careful. Have your stop losses in place, and stay safe, guys. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.